Hey everyone, it's Tasha here from Namastasha, and I'm going to talk to you guys today about my weekend and the Connecting to Spirit workshop part 3, and even my day today. So I'm pretty high energy still from this whole weekend. It's been absolutely awesome, and I keep on just constantly seeing and knowing about these different synchronicities happening and stuff just coming into my life. But I'll start with Saturday. So it was the Connecting to Spirit workshop part 3, and some of the stuff that we talked about included stuff like ascension symptoms. So when your consciousness starts to expand and you start to open your mind and stuff like that, you clear blocks from different chakras and you're able to feel and sense more things. You start to have some of these symptoms. So some of the things are for example, for me, I had pain in my ears. So that's my clear audience coming through more. I heard a lot of people had headaches. I had some digestive issues, which I think, I wasn't eating fantastic, but I kind of think that, I wasn't eating poor enough for it to be that bad. So I kind of feel especially on Saturday, actually, the day of the workshop, I was, sorry if it's too much information, but I was going to the bathroom a lot, and I've just noticed I've been incredibly thirsty. So it's I'm just expelling things, and I'm needing to hydrate, and when your cells are hydrated, things are more fluid and flowing. So I feel I've needed that a lot the past 2 days, a lot. And stuff not being able or not really paying attention to or being drawn to dramas and stuff like that. So I've had a few things where people have been kind of negative in my life, or not towards me, but just in general, their energy's like that, or they're just complaining a lot, and either I want to give them tough love and kind of put them in their place in a very kind way, and maybe tell them not what they don't really want to hear, but what they do need to hear. That's kind of what I mean by tough love. Or I just kind of tune out and ignore it, or just not put my energy towards it, right? So, and I've just noticed a shift in my mind and the stuff that I'm thinking, and anytime I'm having somewhat negative thoughts, even, it's I'm completely canceling that out, and I'm constantly reaffirming positive things in my head. So, and one of those things, actually, we did this meditation where, before I talk about that, I guess I'll talk about that. So we did this meditation to access our Akashic records. So what Akashic records are is your soul, basically your past lives, anything to do with your soul, that any questions you can answer there, or access and get the answers to from your guides. So I was connected again with a guide that's it's my higher self. It says it's my sister, but it often merges with me, and we become one, and I have wings and stuff like that. I painted a picture about it. It's the second or third time I think that it's kind of shown up, and I've experienced it. So, and I went into the Akashic records, and it was they constantly were telling me, my guides, that I was already healed. So over and over and over again, I'm already healed, I'm already healed, I'm already healed. So I think that in my mind and spirit, I am healed. I know I am. It just hasn't come full circle to the body part yet. And from what I know, the physical is the last to manifest. So you can be constantly, saying something in your mind, and you're well, universe, where is it? Where is it? Come on. And it's it takes time to set these things up, So, in general, I've been feeling really good symptom-wise in my healing. So, and for anyone who isn't familiar with my beginning story, I have, a couple of different, or I want to say had, because I don't want to align with those diseases, but I had some chronic diseases. So, and see, it's even now, it's my mind is nope, don't even say that you have it. I don't even want to acknowledge that. cancel, clear that, because the more that you do that, the more that you're going to align with it, the more you're going to manifest those things in your life. So, anyways, so I did some other stuff with that. I figured out a little bit of stuff about soulmates, which I've had constant confirmation about it. Even today I had something like that happen, which was kind of, it like made me so happy in a way. Like it just made my day, I guess. So, and stuff about different soul connections and asking different questions about that. So that was really a really cool meditation. Another cool exercise that we did was we actually did this thing where we, it's like where we would look at a person, but we would relax our eyes and we set the intention of like seeing their soul from past lives. So when you do that, and the first time I was doing it with one lady, Tara, and I was having a hard time seeing stuff. Like I was only seeing this older woman, because she was like, I would say like middle-aged, and I was getting not frustrated, but I was like expecting to see a little bit more. So because I wasn't seeing much that way, I asked for a message to give to her, and the message that I got was, "You are saved." So I said that to her, and I was like, "Does that mean anything to you?" And she's like, "Oh my God, you made my day. That means so much to me." And she didn't go on to explain what that meant to her, and she doesn't have to, but, I'm really happy that whatever message that meant to her meant something and was a positive experience for her. So then we switched partners, and then I was in a group of 3 because we had 13 people in the class rather than 12, so we had odd numbers. And for this one lady, Susan, that I was reading, like seeing the past lives, I saw much more with her. I saw her as like some sort of bird at one time. She was like a queen in another. Then she was like almost like a creature. Like it wasn't something that I could really pinpoint. Like I didn't recognize it from at least our planet. And then there was one point where she completely, like, her whole body blurred into just energy. Like, it was kind of, like, all connected. Like, it was still, like, almost like a solid mass, but it was, like, she just kind of turned this, like, yellowy orange color. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I was like, I need to just take a step back there because it was a little bit much for me to see that. But I'm, like, telling myself I'm ready, but, maybe it was a little bit, past, I don't know. I don't even want to say that. That's what I was supposed to see, so I saw it. And, yeah, I've just had other stuff, like when I went, I don't know if I mentioned this in another video, but even this past week I went to go get my nails done with my mom, and there's little, like, almost like heat lamp type things, and it's like a blue light, and I could actually see, like, the heat particles, like, energy particles moving in that. So I was like, oh, man, like, it was nuts. And then I was saying that to my mom, and I'm like, look, can you see it? And she couldn't. So obviously I'm, like, opening up some of my third eye chakra a little bit more with that. And yeah, like, I feel like that's a good overview sort of the workshop, and it's almost hard to put into words sometimes because there's so much coming at you. There's so much that I'm learning and connecting with that it's, and I mean, for me, I have a pretty easy time actually connecting to spirit. Whereas for some people in that workshop, maybe it wasn't as profound for them. So I think it'll just depend what you're ready for. I think you get what you are ready for, right? So, and then, yeah, so that the energy was super high. Like I barely slept the night before, and I was just like skipping down the halls, jumping. Like I just felt like so high energy at Divine Clarity. And then today, I didn't get a bad sleep, but like, when I went to work, I was just like, la da da da, whatever. And then, the longer I was there, the like higher my energy rose. So, especially because there was a crystal workshop today, basic and advanced. And so people were buying a lot of crystals, and I was touching like all of these pillars and wands and like, you know, way more than I would usually. Or, you know, interesting, actually, Nico, my coworker, she was actually touching more of them than I was, but I think I was just like being around it in general. Like I did touch a couple, but not compared to her. Anyways, then I got to have an incredibly nice lunch break. One of the owners came by and, you know, watched the store for half an hour, and I got to walk over to the park and eat on the bench by the river and the Assiniboine Park footbridge, and it was just beautiful. And I was just, you know, in that moment, I'm like, this is where I'm meant to be. I'm, you know, in a job that I absolutely love. I absolutely adore Crystal and Darcy and their kids, you know, especially Delaney. I've definitely been connecting with her. I think she's fantastic. And yeah, so then I got to go back to the shop, and then I had a few people come in. Like I had one person come in, and we, like, for sure were just clicking. Like we just got each other, and we, I don't know, there's just like, it was funny because it's like, I think my energy was already high, and then it went all the way up, like even higher, and then our computer stopped working. So I kind of have a feeling that it was, you know, because my energy was just raising the roof right there. And I had to shut down the computer like 3 times and restart it, and it still wasn't working. And then basically what ended up happening is I was like, Kate, that person needs to leave. You know, everyone else has to leave, and then everything's gonna work again. Like I knew that things just had to come down a notch, because it was interfering with the technology, like the electronics. So yeah, and sure enough, that's what ended up happening. And then some other girls came in, and then I could totally tell that this one girl, she was attracted to like talking to me, so we kept on like talking quite a bit. She seemed to always want to ask me questions, and which is great. I was absolutely happy to connect, but I did have to work a little bit around that because there was other people in the shop. But eventually we had this like really cool moment where she like knew what I was gonna say before I said it, and then I mentioned something else, and her friend had watched a show that like said that exact, you know, had mentioned almost that exact thing that I ended up saying. It was like weird and like awesome, and they totally made my day, those 2 girls, but especially the one person. So I was like, add me on Facebook. I need to connect with you, obviously. And it was, they're around my age, so that was really nice, because I find that in Winnipeg right now, I think there's more younger people starting to get interested in it. Even the Connecting to Spirit workshop, I actually had someone who was closer to my age, when usually it's like adults, like older adults type thing. So yeah, it was awesome to have so like a lot more young people coming in, younger people, I guess I should say, and I'm excited to like hopefully get them interested in like, and just connecting with these people, because I want to have more people in my life that I can talk about spirituality with, and who are interested in growing, who are interested in healing, and who are interested in changing, instead of just being stuck in old limiting belief patterns or like emotional patterns and stuff. And any way that you can like heal, grow, and change in a positive way, you know, while at the same time knowing that you're still whole. Yeah, so that is my video for today, just talking a little bit about connecting to spirit and all the synchronicities going on right now. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask me about it. I am just skyrocketing with happy, positive, good energies, and I definitely feel like a lot of releasing going on, and it's a good time for that. It's spring. And oh, also tomorrow I am starting a raw vegan month. Woo! So my energy is going to be even higher, I feel like. So definitely need to work on doing some grounding, and it's spring here, so I'm definitely going to do some earthing and ground down. But yeah, so I'm going to start off my raw vegan month with a 3-day liquid diet, so smoothies, juices, and raw soup. So we'll see how much that even skyrockets me even further to having not just the mind and spirit being healed, but having the physical as well coming all together. So I am so happy to share all of this with anyone who's watching, and I hope to connect with you guys soon. Namaste.